Hello and welcome back to the Anime Corner for another figure review. This time we're looking at the 1/7 scale Shiro figure by Kotobukiya. It's sculpted by Kojima Shu and is based off the illustration by Kamiya Yu, which features on volume 1 of the No Game No Life light novel. It was released in October 2014, and if you can find one, it will set you back around 11,000 yen, which is about £60. The figure itself is made from PVC and ABS, and Shiro stands at approximately 155mm tall, which is about the same height as the 1/8 scale Elmino figure I also reviewed. One of the first things I noticed about this figure was its pure beauty, which has been translated across from paper to its figure very well. Most of this comes from the massive array of colour that spans from her hair, which fades from blue through to pink, yellow and then to a semi-transparent green. The only issues I can find with her hair is on top of Shiro's head, where the finish isn't quite smooth. This isn't too noticeable from a distance, however the join lines in her scalp are something that just screams, "Look at me!" and it really bugs me. I have also seen other people comment on some of the hair being a bit off, so just be aware of that. The colour just doesn't stop at the hair. I really like the fact that her bow is just as colourful, even though it's unfortunately hidden by her pose. I do also really like the use of soft pink to bring out the ruffles in both her top and skirts, although there is some obvious quality control issues with a number of the vertical lines around her skirt and top looking a bit jagged. Luckily for me, like her hair, these areas aren't too noticeable from a bit of a distance. Shiro also detaches around her torso, and if you're that way inclined, you can display her without her skirt. But dude, she's like 11 years old. And of course we now move on to the important part of the review. If Her Majesty the Queen were to come over to my flat and the entirety of my bone china tea saucers had mysteriously returned themselves to Harrods, would I be happy serving a cup of tea on what was Shiro's checkered base? And unless you go full-blown home improvements on this base to remove the chessboard, your tea will just go everywhere. Instead, this might make a good biscuit stand. I quite like how the base is separated into two layers, with a white base and a clear and black checked top layer to give it some depth. Although compared to the rest of the figure, I can't help think that the brown on the base looks a bit cheap. Shiro fits snugly into the base by her right sock, and I mean very snugly. Good luck trying to get it back out without worrying you're going to snap something. It does also look like her right foot might be a weak point, as Boatshide Underwear posted on my figure collection a snap of his figure slightly broken. I do have to say that when I removed her from the box, I was scared that something was going to break. I assume she's meant to rest nicely onto the chessboard, but unfortunately her right leg hovers slightly, although luckily her skirt covers up this hover if you pose her side on. I do really think that the board she's sitting on finishes off the figure quite nicely though. Along with a chess theme, you also get a black king and a white pawn, which can attach to her right hand with a bit of persuasion. Again, both these pieces were on the original illustration. All in all, I'm mostly happy with this figure. It's very loyal to the original illustration, but I would say again that a lot of people have been having some quality control issues. If you're willing to play quality control roulette with this figure, then it's definitely worth a purchase, as the pure beauty of it I think just sells it to anyone. But that was my review for the 1/7 scale Shiro figure. Thank you very much for watching, and as always, we'll see you next time. Goodbye.